So we all heard the excuses during the Club World Cup. PSG had the harder run. They didn't really care about it. It's just the Club World Cup. Who cares? I wonder what excuses they're going to make if we beat them this time. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Blues and Stripes. So we have a pretty big game to look ahead to, but first I did want to talk a little bit about what happened on the weekend, because there are some talking points coming out of that I find very hypocritical and kind of ridiculous. So first of all, the whole VAR conversation, I'm seeing it from some Wrexham fans, I'm seeing it from some pundits as well, and the whole idea behind it is they say it's unfair to Wrexham that VAR has not been in this entire tournament up until the 5th round. And the fact that it got introduced now, and then Wrexham, they get a goal ruled out, they get a red card because of VAR, which they made the correct decision, suddenly that's unfair. And what I find hilarious about this is turn it around. If a Chelsea player had gotten a red card, if Chelsea had had a goal ruled out, like the third goal that made it 3-2, if that had happened to us, everybody would have been praising VAR. Nobody would have said a word. There may have been some Chelsea fans that said, why is it being introduced now? On the majority of it, people would not have said a peep about the fact that VAR got introduced now. But because Chelsea benefited from it, well, now it's unfair. Now it's a problem. And I just find that so ridiculous. I mean, I know some people, they just like to hate on Chelsea. We already know Jamie Carragher is very much like that. I don't know if he had any say about this particular situation, but there are other people very much like him that anytime Chelsea gets the benefit from something, they just want to find a problem with it. But to be this apparent about your hatred, like to be this hypocritical about it, because every other team dealt with the same thing. But because Wrexham specifically are the ones that dealt with the issues, they're the ones that they had seemingly some bad luck because VAR sent a player off for them, turned over one of their goals. Suddenly now it's a problem. And we need to look at this and we need to scrap this. And I will say there's an argument to be had that maybe once you get into the tournament proper at round 1, maybe then VAR should be looked to be introduced, but at the same time, I also understand that's a big financial ask to start from round 1, where there's, I think, like 64 teams, if I'm not mistaken, and you have to go to all of these grounds where it's League 2, League 1, some non-league sides, and you have to install VAR there. That's a lot of extra money. The FA Cup doesn't bring in that much as far as funds, which is why the prize money is not that high. So I just don't think it's financially realistic. But whatever the case, that to me is very hypocritical. The other thing to talk about, though, is the red card itself, because I'm seeing some people saying that that's not a red card. And I don't know exactly where this is coming from, because not too long ago, I was one of the few people saying that Caicedo was unlucky to get sent off for his challenge on Marino in the Arsenal match because it was down low on the ankle, and typically that challenge is given a yellow card. And we've seen that exact challenge be given a yellow since then as well. So I personally thought that was an unlucky red card for him to receive, despite the fact that everybody and their mother said it was a red card. Well, now all of a sudden we're seeing a lunging challenge, studs up, just below the knees where the contact takes place. And I'm thinking that's universally that should be understood that that's a red card. It's at pace. And again, the contact is high. It is up near his knee. If he catches full contact, if it doesn't just scrape off his knee, that's a leg breaker. And yet some people decided, no, that's a yellow card at most. There's no way that's a red. One of the biggest profiles that I saw say it was Mark Goldbridge, and granted, he could just be trying to rage bait because he wasn't going to watch extra time anyway, he already said that, but also because it was a challenge on Garnacho, so he could just be trying to rage bait some people because he doesn't really like Garnacho for leaving. But he was definitely not the only one that was trying to claim, oh, that's never a red card. There's not enough contact. Like, that's such a stupid mindset to have. That, no, you have to make full contact for it to be a red card. That everybody's going to get their legs broken then for there to be red cards in the game, and that's what we're trying to avoid. That's why those challenges are given red, even when the contact wasn't full-on direct contact to the knee. So I don't know why that's suddenly becoming a thing, why this has been such a talking point, but then again, it's Chelsea, so of course it's going to be a talking point. But moving on from that, we also saw the FA Cup draw. We were one of the lucky ones alongside Arsenal to get a lower opposition side. Liverpool-Man City is going to be a very intense quarterfinal match, which is going to be fun to watch. But yeah, very nice for us to get Port Vale, I think at home too. Is probably going to be a little bit easier than Wrexham. They're not pushovers by any stretch of the imagination. They showed what they're capable of against Sunderland. But it's a match, because it's at home, I do feel like we can probably make some more rotations. We can probably see some of these players that aren't going to play much between now and then they're going to get their chance here. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when we actually get to that match. But there are some players, though, despite the fact that we are going to be facing I think a League One side, I still don't want to see them play because they're not showing anything that they're capable of, and they're not showing why they deserve to play, even in a match like this. But again, we'll discuss that more when we get there, but very happy with the draw, and hopefully we can put them to the sword and make light work of it when we get to that point. Looking ahead to tomorrow's match against PSG, it is going to be a very big match. There's going to be probably still a little bit of tension from the Club World Cup final. We saw how it all ended with Luis Enrique shoving João Pedro in the face and not getting any sort of punishment for it. And going to the Parc des Princes is going to be a tough atmosphere. You know, we've seen we don't do too well on the road in these Champions League matches. We saw it against Karabag, we saw it against Atalanta, saw it against Bayern as well. So this is going to be a tough one, and we want to make sure that we don't throw this game away. So even if we don't necessarily get the win, we want to stay in the match so that whenever we come back to the bridge, we have a good chance of getting through to the next round. But looking at the lineup that I kind of hope to see, I would like to see Sanchez in goal. I'm not expecting it, especially since he played against Wrexham and he didn't have the best game. It does feel like Rosenior's starting to want to implement his style more. He wants to try to build out of the back. He wants to use his keeper as another defender, and Sanchez is not that type of keeper. Even though he's all around a better keeper than Jorgensen, he makes better saves, he keeps us in the matches with the saves. It's clear Rosenior wants to stick to his style. And so, because of that, I do expect Jorgensen to start here. I hope he doesn't cost us. Again, I thought against Villa, there were a couple of moments where he showed his frailties as a keeper. But if it helps the overall team play better, then maybe I'll be fine with it. We'll see how it goes. Into defense, right back, I expect to see James. I hope to see James. There's a good chance we'll see Gusto, though. I'm still just not a fan of him. I'm still not seeing why he's playing. He's not really giving us much on the pitch, but his work rate could be effective in a match like this. We saw how effective it was in the final of the Club World Cup. So if he does play, hopefully he shows what he's capable of. Center of defense, I expect it'll be Chalobah and Fofana, and I do think that's probably our strongest starting two still, even though Sarr has shown some of his capabilities recently, but Fofana I think is a lot more trusted at the moment, so the two of them will probably be in there. And then Cucurella will likely start on the left, and it'll be nice to have him back, hopefully at full fitness. We'll see where he is, but definitely having him down that side, and I think that's typically where we see Desiree Doué step up a little bit and create some opportunities for PSG. I'm hoping Cucurella can keep an eye on him throughout the match, kind of like he did in the final of the Club World Cup. Into the midfield, I'd like to see Caicedo and Santos. It'll probably be Caicedo and James, though, with Gusto starting at right back. But Caicedo and Santos have been a very good partnership. They control that midfield well. They keep the ball moving well, too. Don't really expect it, but I have to hope for that because again, I don't want to see Gusto continuing to get time when he's really not earning it. And then getting up into the front four, kind of expect to see Neto, Palmer, Enzo, and João Pedro up top. I feel like Neto on that left-hand side, tracking the right back that gets forward, typically Hakimi. I think that was very effective in the final, and I kind of expect to see it here too. And then Palmer and Fernandez, both of them been playing really well a little bit further forward, and they've been connecting with João Pedro up top very well too. So I think it's a very good chance to see that front four again and see what they're capable of. And hopefully they get some goals for us. Because if we can get some goals here, I know away goals are not important anymore since they don't do that as part of the Champions League. But still, getting some goals here, getting the confidence in the team, I think it'll really do a good job of getting us in the right frame of mind when we come back to the bridge, and allow us to, I think, get a good hold on the tie as well. But looking at Rosenior for this one, I kind of expect him to come in here confidently. PSG is a team he knows well because of his time at Strasbourg, so hopefully he already has a good idea in mind on how to handle them. I can't remember off the top of my head how he did against PSG when he was there, but if I'm not mistaken, he typically gave them a game, even with having a slightly lesser squad like Strasbourg. So with that in mind, I'm kind of hoping the fact that he has a better squad here at Chelsea, hoping that means he can get a win. But also, I really want to see him step back up because I thought his decisions against Wrexham were so abysmal. It did knock my confidence in him just a bit. Because so far, like I said before, he's done very well. So I've been happy with how he's managed the team. His subs as well have been very good from the beginning. But the Burnley match, I thought they were pretty poor. And then against Wrexham, I think he nearly threw the game away. So this is a match where he can hopefully gain some of that trust back, gain some of that confidence back, and fingers crossed we can at least get a draw. A win would be fantastic, and also it would kind of shut up once again the people that think we don't really have much of a chance going into this match. But those are all of my thoughts going into this one, so with that being said, cue the outro. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more Chelsea previews, reviews, and talks. Also, let me know what your thoughts are down below, whether you agree, disagree, or just want to call me stupid. Let me know, we can talk about it, discuss all that good stuff. Also, if you want to hear me talk about TV shows and movies that I like, check out my channel Mason the Brock Henderson, where I upload reviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As well as if you want to watch me play through video games and try to make it entertaining for you, I have a Let's Play channel, Meso Hendo Plays, where I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, if you do want to help me grow this channel, I do have a Patreon where all the funds and donations will go directly into improving this channel's quality. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out, and up the Chels.